Raw was in Boston, Massachusetts tonight, and what a boring and dull show to go into WrestleMania. We only have one more Raw to WrestleMania, and this build-up has absolutely sucked. This was a dud of a Raw. It was a snooze fest. The first 2 hours were horrific. He had some good stuff in the third hour, but the first 2 hours absolutely sucked. He had horrible segment after horrible segment. Just horrible matches they have lined up. We have matches that we've seen on Raw 20 times. 2 matches. Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle we've seen on Raw 1,000 times, and we've also seen Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley 1,000 times. So, what the hell? We start the show off at Ronda Rousey, and it was announced earlier in the day that the women are officially going to main event WrestleMania. It's going to be Ronda Rousey defending against Becky Lynch and Charlotte in the main event. It's official. They can't back out now. They made the decision this week, I believe, or actually today. I think the other idea was Seth and Brock, but this is definitely the better choice in my opinion. I don't think anyone wants to see Brock Lesnar get another WrestleMania main event. Unfortunately, WWE continues a lackluster build for this match, and they do 3 beat-the-clock challenges. They have all 3 of them face the Riot Squad. The first is Ronda Rousey and Sarah Logan. There was a cool spot where Sarah Logan has Ronda up, and Ronda uses the turnbuckles to climb while she has her legs wrapped around Sarah Logan. It was a cool-looking spot, and Ronda gets the win with the armbar. Then he had Charlotte and Ruby, and they're still protecting Ruby. The other 2, there's nothing, but it was a competitive match. You only had a minute and a half, or minute 25 to get to. Charlotte gets a figure 8, but time runs out, and she can't beat it. And then Becky faces Liv Morgan, and to beat her, they had Charlotte attack Becky early, and the match doesn't go long, but finally Becky is able to get a jackknife cover for the 3 count, and she beats it by 10 seconds. So Becky wins the Beat the Clock challenge. They show Finn Balor in the back getting ready for his match, and it's supposed to be a handicap match, and it's Lashley and Leo Rush, and it turns into Jinder Mahal, and Balor wins. Don't give a shit about this match at all. I'm sorry. Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley, are you fucking kidding me at WrestleMania? They show Elias in Times Square. That was a cool moment. They have Aleister Black and Ricochet against the Revival. Black and Ricochet win. I don't know if they're going to have the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. I don't think there's enough room on the card. And I also think that they have Black and Ricochet are wrestling at TakeOver, so I don't know if they're going to have to do double duty. But I'm starting to think the Raw Tag titles are not going to be on the show. They have Drew McIntyre in the ring, and I'm about to fall asleep. This guy is a snooze fest. There's 3 wrestlers I cannot stand on Raw. It's Drew McIntyre, who's boring as fuck. It's Bobby Lashley, who's boring as fuck. And it's Baron Corbin, who is the worst wrestler in the company. Those 3 guys bore me to death, and they all have big, prominent matches at WrestleMania. And they're all in high-profile matches, and it absolutely sucks. I don't care about Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns wrestling. I like Roman now. I mean, people all like that he's back, but no one cares about Drew. And they have a feud. Roman comes out, they have a battle, and they show after the fight, Drew gets the upper hand on Roman. He lays out Roman Reigns. He hits out the Claymore. They're just trying to get heat. They show Drew backstage, and he gets into a fight with Dean Ambrose, and they make a last man standing. I heard that Dean Ambrose was not going to appear in Raw anymore. I think this is it for Dean. I think Dean's leaving. I don't think he's going to stay. I think that whole thing with the Shield that fastens the finale, the Shield, and I think Dean's gone soon. We have Sasha Banks, and when she comes out, Cole has to do its boss time. He just kills her dead, but Sasha's over in Boston, in her hometown. She's against Natalya. You knew they weren't going to have a match. You had Tamina and Nia Jax attack them, and it turned into a double DQ. They destroyed them, and after the match, they have Beth Phoenix attack Tamina and Nia, and they had Beth look at the title while Sasha was down. So that's where they're going. They go to a Hall of Fame induction, and it's official. It's the Hart Foundation. Bret Hart and Jim Daniels Neidhart. You can't say it's not disappointing. We all know the problem with Owen Hart. We all know Martha Hart will not allow him in the Hall of Fame, even though we know Mark Henry was in tears last year asking her to let him in. Everyone wants to see Owen Hart's career honored. He won't be in, but yeah, Brett and Jim. I really wish they could have inducted all the 1997 Hart Foundation. Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart, Owen Hart, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, and Brian Pillman. I don't know if you really count him as part of it, but those 5, Bret Hart's the only one alive. I just wish they could have inducted them all together, but it's not going to happen. So they have Kurt Angle on the back. He's asked about his match with Samoa Joe. It's just boring. I don't really care to see this match. They have Baron Corbin. It's so fucking terrible. This guy, they're really going to go at Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. Fuck off, really. Fuck off. No one in the world wants to watch this fucking match. This company, for whatever reason, thinks Baron Corbin's a star. The reason why he keeps getting pushed and keeps getting these big matches, the company views him as a top star. And he is fucking horrific. He's fucking shit. He's absolute garbage. He is just the worst. So Alexa Bliss comes out for a moment of bliss, but when we go back to commercial, they saw Sasha Banks and Billy backstage. Well, Alexa has to wait in the ring. They always do that to the performers. Like, they make you wait in the ring for a while, and they do a backstage segment. But Sasha and Billy announced that they're going to face all 3 teams at WrestleMania. They're going to take them all. So it's going to be Sasha and Billy against Nia and Timmy against Beth Phoenix and Natalya against the Iconics. So that's your match. We knew that would happen. So the moment of bliss. Alexa Bliss is out. She introduces Braun Strowman, and then they do this 2 things with the Saturday Night Live guys, and it is the worst thing you'd ever see. Look, I like Alexa Bliss. I've always been a fan of hers, but this moment of bliss is ruining all her star power. This is fucking horrific. This moment of bliss fucking sucks. Every segment has been fucking horrible. No matter how good she looks, the segments themselves have been fucking terrible. They've been awful. All of them. This was the worst. Strowman is a complete goof. He's a comedy character. He's going to be like the Big Show. It's going to be wrestling celebrities. It's not going to be too long before he's getting destroyed by a sumo wrestler at WrestleMania. That's probably his next step. Probably WrestleMania 36. He's getting squashed by some sumo wrestler. He's a total joke now. He's just a comedy character. He's the big friendly giant. He used to be a killer. 2 years ago, he was a fucking monster. He's tipping over Roman Reigns in an ambulance. Now he's just the big friendly giant, and he's fucking terrible now. They've killed Braun Strowman dead. It's sad to see. I don't care about these 2 Saturday Night Live fucking morons. Alexa Bliss makes them they're going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Who gives a fuck about these fucking idiots? No one cares about Saturday Night Live. It's not been relevant in years. No one gives a shit. No one gives a fuck about the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I hope it's on the fucking pre-show. Because of these 2 Saturday Night Live shitheads, this match is probably going to be on the main card because they have to get them on the main show. So fuck these 2 morons and fuck this company, man. The fuck. Fucking horrible segment. They're going back and forth. It was fucking terrible. Jesus, that was bad. They show Elias outside of Madison Square Garden. I'm surprised they're even promoting MSG because of the ROH New Japan show, but even though that show has no star power anymore. But I'm surprised they're even giving MSG any promotion, so they're just going to show Elias all around New York City and going into WrestleMania. Baron Corbin beat Apollo Crews. The fucking match is terrible. Baron Corbin, the way they're pushing him. Corey Graves is insufferable. He is fucking terrible. Renee Young is horrible on commentary. She's the worst. But Corey Graves is just insufferable. It's getting JBL part. When JBL was a heel, he started off good. Then he just became just irritating as fuck to the point you don't want to watch. Corey Graves has surpassed JBL. He is just so fucking irritating. They show the Beat the Clock highlights. They have Seth Rollins come out. Don't really care. I don't care about this match. It bores me to death. The stuff with Heyman, I don't care about Heyman. Heyman needs to get in better shape, by the way. That's a little bit concerning. But Heyman falls to the ramp. Seth stands over him. I don't give a shit about this match. I don't give a shit about Seth Rollins. I'm not a fan. Kurt Angle comes out. He is in the ring. He's going to face Samoa Joe, the U.S. champ Samoa Joe. Joe cuts a good promo before the match, and Joe's a great promo. It's probably the best promo in the company on a week-to-week basis. They have a match. It's not a very long match, but Angle gets a roll-up when Joe had the sleeper. The final match with Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe, those classic TNA matches they had in 2006, 2007 to 08, all of them are gone. This is what we're going to get. Kurt's really slow. This is all we can see. So they've had many great matches if you want to see them. Ambrose is getting ready. Finally, Triple H comes out, and this is probably the best part of the show. Triple H cuts a great promo. I thought he did great here. Crowd really liked him. He's on fire with this promo. He brings out this fake script that Batista's lawyer wrote, and he is ripping into Batista. He's making fun of him slobbering all over the microphone a couple weeks ago, to him always quitting. He is ripping Batista apart here. It's a very good promo, and then he announces that his career is on the line. So I think Triple H is the most likely winner here because I don't think he's going to retire. I think most likely with Triple H, his next stop is, I think he's just going to keep wrestling on Saudi Arabia shows. I think they're going to build up to his retirement. And I don't see him ever retiring until, I think he'll retire once they build up a big feud and they build a big send-off, but this is not going to be a send-off at all. I think he's going to win. I think this is it for Batista. I think you're going to see the end of two major careers, two big careers. I think it's the end of Kurt Angle. We know that. And I think it's the end of Batista at WrestleMania. They show Elias. He's in New York City behind some apartment and someone stealing his money. It was a shitty segment. McIntyre and Ambrose, it seems like for the millionth time, main event, last man standing match, McIntyre wins. We all know that would happen. Nothing to say. Drew McIntyre is fucking terrible. I don't care about his match with Roman Reigns. I think McIntyre is a fucking snooze. So it is what it is. Raw was absolutely horrible this week. I thought the show was so boring. Some of the segments were terrible. He had some good highlights in the third hour of Triple H. He cut a very good promo. Other than that, the show sucked. We're going into WrestleMania, and this has been one of the most lackluster builds ever to a WrestleMania. Nothing's happening. The shows are boring as fuck. Raw was fucking boring. It was a boring show. I have almost no interest in WrestleMania. By the time WrestleMania weekend hits, it'll make it feel special again, but the build-up has just not been there, and it's been there for a while, but it's disappointing. It's WrestleMania season, and it does not feel like it. It does not feel like WrestleMania is coming up at all. Last time I felt this least interested into WrestleMania, ironically, will probably be the last time they were in New York City for, I think it was 29 and 2013. No interest in that show. Did not feel like WrestleMania, and this show does not feel like WrestleMania at all, so hopefully it's a good show. The matches could deliver, but you have Raw matches. The Raw portion in particular absolutely sucks. You have so many Raw matches on the show. Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle, it's a Raw match. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre is pretty much a Raw match. And Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor is a Raw match. The show sucks. The women's match, it's cool they're being main eventing, but, I mean, the build-up has just been so lackluster this year.